Hey everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Super Beard Brothers. Special in the sense that it's been for many reasons. One, Greg's not here.
No!
He's performing in his band, and with him gone, Alex and I didn't want to move on without him in our games. So we thought, we'll do like a special mini-sodes. If you guys like these, we'll do more of these.
Yeah,
but
and maybe we'll like pick them up when Greg is like again on tour.
Yeah, or if we end up doing them without the week, you guys let us know. But we're going to play some Super Metroid, one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, it's such a great game.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with it as you are, obviously.
Yeah, I'm very, I feel like, I like how all three of these are 100%. The first one's from when I got on the Virtual Console. Yeah. And then these two are my two runs for the completions video I did last year.
Did you save the aliens?
I did. In fact, I saved it at a point where you could save the aliens.
Yeah.
So it's not like a total loss like everyone thinks it's going to be.
Great.
Let's go ahead. I'm gonna get rid of the worst time. Yeah, let's do that. No, you know what? Let's do the top one. Let's just do the top one.
By far the
worst one.
The worst of the three.
So we'll do that one. Ching. Special control setting mode, real quick. Let's do moonwalking just because I think it's great. And then controller mode. I like to change things up. I changed my shoot to Y.
This is some inside completionist.
I jump to B. My
information
to dash. Yeah, that's how I do it. Great. All right, and starting the game. So Alex, how you doing today?
Great. So this voiceover right here, this is Dan Osen. He was like a localization guy for Nintendo. I don't know if he still works for them. But he's like in a lot of those old like videotapes.
Videotapes?
Yeah.
Like,
you know, like
Nintendo C, like welcome to Nintendo.
Yeah, he's in those, and he had like a column on Nintendo's website for a while. But he also voiced that. So little trivia right to start off.
The galaxy is at pace. That's how he sounds.
Yeah.
The galaxy is at pace. Pace.
Pace.
The galaxy is at making a good pace.
I dig the beginning of this game. It makes it seem super badass.
I love how it fills you in on the first two games.
Like shows you clips from the games.
Yeah.
It's really like good fan service because you can like see like, you know.
And they do it in the Metroid 3 engine, so you're sitting there watching a nice summarized version of it. I know that I personally never played the first two Metroids, not because I didn't want to, because I never did as a kid.
And you played them now?
Yeah, I have. But Super Metroid, to me, in my opinion, is the most superior of the original three.
Of course.
And there's so much depth to it and fun stuff just overall.
It's really interesting. Metroid is just to give some background on what was like going on at the time. Alien had just recently come out, and Metroid is like a really big, like was really heavily influenced by that movie. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah,
like,
Ridley, who is like...
Ridley sounds like Ripley.
Yep.
Like, there's a strong female protagonist. There's like the aliens that like, you know...
And hold on, before you even go on anymore, Alex, I know people are going to be pissed because they'll be like, well, someone watched a Did You Know Gaming video on this, and it's like, no, we did research.
No,
the internet is common knowledge place. You can search anything you find Did You Know Gaming or any other game fact site.
Here's the thing. I love Did You Know Gaming.
Yeah,
I've watched the Metroid episode of Did You Know Gaming.
It's great.
But like, it's the same thing with the decks where they're like, you know, you can just look this up and get the information. It's like, the reason that people watch these shows is because they're getting the information and it's being delivered to them in such a way that it's enjoyable to watch and requires little to no effort and like hopefully we're entertaining too. Yeah. So that's what that's about.
I just want to clear it up because I know everyone's going to give us crap for it. So.
Oh, yeah, well...
And by everyone, I mean one of you guys because I love all you guys very much.
One guy who ruins my day or something. I'm like, oh, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm trying, you know... but yeah, I mean, really, like, if you think about the similarities, it's nuts. Something about those Super Nintendo sound effects always sound awesome. And I love how his eye being there is like a really cool, like, ominous, like...
You know, I love how the door locks. You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I know I didn't act like I didn't know what I was doing because I played this multiple times, as you can tell. But
like I just watched Iron Man last night.
Iron Man 1?
Iron Man 1, yeah. And because I was about to go see it with my sister, and she had never seen any of the Iron Mans, so I was like, just watch those real quick. So we watched them, and there's the part where like Pepper is like looking for Jeff Bridges' character.
Yeah.
Obadiah Stone, and he's like in the suit, but he like rises from the dark.
Yeah.
It happens in the Hulk too, and like in a lot of other movies, but like that's a cool thing that they were like, let's put that in this Super Nintendo game, and it like kind of worked. You know what I mean?
Like rising from the depths of hell.
Just like yelling,
I am behind you.
just that little cool like artistic choice of making his eyes show up before, that kind of gives you that same feeling. That same feel, that feel, dat feel.
Dat feel.
Dat fan, you guys.
Dat fan.
Last comic standing.
Dude, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
I liked his stand-up.
Yeah. So Super Metroid was also the last Metroid game to be released while the guy who invented Metroid, Gunpei Yokoi, was still alive.
Wait, he's dead?
Yeah, he was like an older gentleman.
Oh, wow.
I believe.
I thought he was involved with Other M, though. I feel like he was.
I don't think so.
I feel like he was.
Gunpei Yokoi?
I'm pretty sure, because that was the whole thing. Is
He
that
died in 1997. Oh my God, he got hit by a car after a car accident. He was 56, so he was like a little bit older, but he actually got in a car crash and got out of his car to like check what happened and got hit by 2 cars.
That's nuts.
Isn't that crazy? That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Wow. Anyway,
Did you know gaming that?
yeah. Anyway, yeah. This was the last game that he was alive for, and actually, also, it's interesting to note that Metroid was like a hit. Metroid 2 was a hit. This game was a hit, and yet it was the last Metroid game
We saw it in years.
for like 8 years.
Yeah.
or something like that. It's crazy, and it's the only Metroid game on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Even though it worked so well with Super Nintendo.
One thing I love about this first start is how, first off, this room right here specifically, this is from the scene we just saw. This is literally the mother.
This is
brain.
the end of Metroid 1.
Yes,
Turian,
and I love that, and I love the fact.
Turian ruins.
Yeah, I love that.
Not to be confused with Turians from
Yes.
Mass Effect, but Turians.
I also like the fact that this place is just empty. It looks like hell, and like there's no lights. Everything's just dim. All you have is your visor and your blaster.
Very,
like,
very Prometheus.
Yeah.
Very, very like creepy old, messed up place. And
already right here, this is from Metroid 1. Again, this is the first, room, and already back to basics, getting the morph ball right away.
the morphing ball. Of
Morphing ball. I apologize. The morphing ball.
Apparently, according to this game, though we all know it's the morph ball. Dude, Samus can book it.
Oh yeah. Trick to playing this game is holding down the run button is your friend. You can.
Speaking of going really fast in Super Metroid,
Yeah.
this is like the game to speedrun.
Yeah, I hear that everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I've been really lately because Jimmy, the guy who works for us on the decks, he's been doing a lot of speedrun and amnesia runs, and it's inspired me to start doing more speedruns myself. And I was doing Link to the Past for a while, then I switched to Mario World. I want to do one more before I give up and start playing another game, but there's something about speedrunning that, whether it's 100% run or 80% run, that's really fascinating.
It's really like, it's cool because like a lot of like what is like good game design a lot of the times comes down to trial and error.
Yeah.
Like the ability to like the game to like teach you things as you play it.
Right.
And I feel like speedrunning is kind of like the ultimate version of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like testing your knowledge and your abilities to playing a game that you know very well at the heightened potential.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that everything's on the line of like beating your personal best
because you
score.
know it, you own it. You know what I mean? Like it's your bitch, pretty much.
Yeah,
And
it is up to you to prove to everyone that you can do it.
And
as
you're like,
opposed
yeah,
to-
you're like twisting it and like cheating it, like, you know, finding the glitches and all that stuff just helps you get through the game faster. And that's like a really cool like meta way of playing games that I think should be encouraged.
So already we just got the All we did is we got the Morph Ball and we got one set of power-ups. Or we got two sets of power-ups, or the power missiles. And you notice the lights are already back on. So it's like they've been waiting for us the whole time. And enemies are here. So already we are moving forward with messing people up.
They look like, I can't remember the name, but that Godzilla creature. Megalon?
I'm not the person to ask that.
Megalon? I used to be into Godzilla when I was a kid. I used to buy all the,
You know, for me being a film major, one film genre I could never get into was monster films.
Really?
Like Godzilla stuff, I just never got into it.
Not even like Cloverfield?
Cloverfield I can kind of get, but I think because it had that, you know, kind of that weird holding the reality feel to it,
yeah.
it disconnected the importance of that genre for me, I think.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Pacific Rim brings it back in a big way. I think that would be a cool genre to just like have a bunch of.
Yeah. So already, this room is going to play kind of a more prominent role as towards the end of the game. We'll be coming in and out of here a lot. There's a couple of secrets in here. One thing, you know, this is taking place of a episode of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You know, obviously we talked about Metroidvania and about how a lot of games kind of follow that. This game kind of was what revolutionized, you know, the ideals of finding secrets that are not supposed to be found. It's not obvious. Oh, I don't have the bomb yet. Encouraging players to really go out of their way to challenge themselves and get everything, you know, finding
it's an even more
it's
an even more like facilitating version of like what the original Zelda does.
Yeah, exactly.
Where, like the original Zelda is like it seems like they were like, "Oh, we dope." Like you could like do this, but they didn't really know how to like present it well.
Yeah.
But this format right here, this is like, you know, this is the other half of the Metroidvania you know, model of playing through video games is, you know, obviously the Metroid half.
Yeah.
And I mean, this format is still like the 2D way to explore.
Yeah.
There's not been a better version of this. Like Symphony of the Night is like exactly this almost. You know what I mean? I mean, there's always going to be like small improvements, but you're never going to like totally revamp it better than this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really dig like Demon Souls and Dark Souls as kind of like, you know, bringing it into like the 3D version of this. I think that's like really what it feels like to me. Chozo.
As a kid, I mean, if you really didn't know much about this game, it does take a lot out of you in terms of understanding what everything is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't aware of like the culture of this game and you weren't like having like literally everyone on the internet having something to help you with, and like,
yeah,
you're just like some kid who's lost in this space place.
Space place.
Yeah, space place. I mean, I can see it being like pretty darn foreboding. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming when you're a kid. I mean, I think, let's see, that's why I loved this game, is that as overwhelming as it is to be a kid playing this, you really find yourself immersed in. I mean, I don't know. I've always thought that the Super Metroid story, like the story of Metroid is like I'm not crazy about.
Right.
Not because it's difficult to understand, but I think it's the idea of, you know, this is supposed to be a adventure place of you being alone. Being desolate in an abandoned planet that you've been to multiple times, and you get this feeling of being alone in the dark, and that's great. That's why I love it. But the story never has been a connecting piece for me. It hasn't been like, oh, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm maybe one of only few. Maybe I might get, you know, roasted for this. I really don't care about Ripley as a villain. Ridley, sorry.
Yeah, now we're thinking Alien.
Yeah. He's a dragon who doesn't really talk, and he just follows Samus around it and tries to kill her. Like,
well, yeah, but who knows? Maybe somebody will take offense and send you every game in the series.
Maybe that's true. That's true.
I think that it's like part of the charm of this game that like the story doesn't necessarily matter. Like, you know, if you dig it, you dig it. I kind of dig it. I think it's a cool story, but I totally appreciate the fact that you can play through this game and like fully enjoy it.
Yeah.
And not ever once like need to care.
Yeah.
Except for, like, maybe Other M.
I mean, that's why I defended Other M, because I didn't think that... Like, it tried to tie a story, and I get that. I understand why it tried it. It was trying to be something different, a little more mature for the Metroid franchise. You know, did Prime really have a massive story influence to it? It tried to.
It had a little bit of one. Like, if you're willing to, like, do the reading.
Yeah.
Like, it's got, like, a bit of a story, and, like, stuff happens in it, you know? But it's that classic, like, Nintendo, like, almost. It's not nearly as, like, surface level as, like, something like Mario Sunshine or, like, Super Mario 64, where you just, like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
The thing
it's a game. I played the game.
Okay, yeah. Like, here's the like BS story that we have to use these items. It's not quite like that, but it still like works in that way for people who want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good one, and that's a thing that I always harp on, especially on this show. It's just like the idea of a game world that's indifferent to the player rather than being like a thing that is like set out for the player, almost like an obstacle course.
Yeah.
This game feels like it exists independent of Samus, which is really cool.
Well, we'll do one more boss, or we'll explore Brinstar a little more, then we'll call it.
Okay.
Well, guys, let us know if you'd like us to do more Super Metroid. If you think this is dumb or cool, let us know, because if you guys like this, well, I'm thinking that as long as we upload a video or two, whether Greg's here or not, yeah, I don't think that we should have to confine ourselves to, you know, because I feel like everyone loves, people who love Wild Arms, what we're doing is great. People who don't are really enjoying Castlevania, and I think that if we kind of keep up this kind of on-the-fly feel sometimes, it's just like, oh, we'll do this more. I think that, you know, it'll kind of...
Every once in a while, we'll just, like, show that we're playing other games and come back to them and stuff.
Yeah, I think that it'll give people a little more variety.
I dig that. I'm sure everybody digs that. I'm sure everybody wants us to play their games that they want us to play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, back in the day, when we first started the show, we were going to just start doing... we started off with Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Yeah, crazy.
Which, like, for us to do that...
We just realized that it doesn't really fit the model that we wanted to, like, present at first.
Yeah.
But we don't, like, not intend to finish, like, to do that game.
Yeah, one day we will.
It's just, like, you know, a lot of the game is, like, cutscenes and stuff, and it's...
We want to talk about the story, but we don't want to defer from the story, so it's...
So it wasn't the greatest first game
that
we could have thought of. And then we thought of Sonic 3, and we were like...
Which I still think Sonic 3 is great.
I freaking loved that.
We had so much fun playing that game.
That one night when we just, like, knocked that game out was just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we did every level in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. I was right about Megalon BT dubs.
What do you mean?
Megalon? That was the Godzilla monster that I was talking about.
Oh, okay. So here's, like, our first real boss that's not a character we've already kind of encountered. I know we had the guy from before. Well, this right here is the Brinstar, I forget what the thing's called, but I love this fight because, one, you really have no idea how to fight this enemy. Look, already from the get-go, we don't have an idea of how to harm him.
It doesn't seem like you can.
It doesn't seem you can. Like, you can. And see, he finally opens up, and you can tell, you know, you're supposed to kind of use your judgment and figure out, okay, shooting him right in that particular spot is probably the best way to go. But, you know... Obviously, if we use the regular, you know, shot, it's not going to work. So we have to do our best to just kind of keep it going. And a great way to tell your progress with this game, too, is the coloration's huge. Bosses change color based on the damage you inflict. So the more the boss is changing color, the more damage you're doing. And by turn, then if you notice, too, the boss is getting faster.
Yeah.
So... difficulty through progression of conquering the enemy, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that
classic boss fight.
Classic boss fight, and you know, games today do that a lot, where they challenge you to keep going, keep barreling through the boss, but they don't do it enough, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hand-holdy.
Yeah, very hand-holdy, and this, you know,
bosses a lot of the times now are like an opportunity for just like a cool cinematic.
Yeah.
Event, and they're not super hard all the time. I mean, there's plenty of hard bosses out there still, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know exactly what we're getting at. I get it.
So this is called the Spore Spawn.
Oh my god, that was so fail.
Yeah. He's called the Spore Spawn. And some interesting facts about him. What do we got? He has the same battle theme as the Batoon.
Which one's the Batoon?
The Batoon is the one, like that red dragon.
Oh yes, we fight him later on.
Yeah. He is not in Zero Mission, the remake of this game, right? Or the remake of the first game, that is. Or whatever that game is.
Zero Mission is a remake of the first game.
Yeah, it's a remake of the first game. He is not in it, but his music is in it as remixes. So,
okay, cool.
So that's cool. And in Metroid Fusion, there's another boss called the Notori, who's like a plant boss, who's also another one who has the same
theme,
the same music. Yeah. And in Metroid Prime, the Puddle Spore, that thing kind of looks like this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
So look how dark the skin is now of the enemy. He's already at the next hit. If I get it off, will literally end with him in the starting position. So boom! If I hit it, he's dead.
Great.
And now look, he now becomes a scaling aspect of how to get out of here. We know that we can't get out because we don't have the blue missile,
right?
Or the green missile. You know, so obviously the only way up is to go up.
He's one of the only bosses in the game who like stays behind when he dies. Too.
Yes.
Right.
It's the petrification that the Metroid. That's actually an effect the Metroid gives off when he kills someone.
Yeah.
They turn into like this lifeless kind of enemy.
Yeah. Okay, what is the Super Metroid manga?
Probably like an anime of some kind.
Yeah, there's like a manga of it. The Spore Spawn is in it. In the strip, What's Inside the Mini-Boss? Where Samus looks at the Spore Spawn and admires it for its roundness until it opens up and she repeatedly attacks it to make it close again. Which seems even worse than the Super Mario World or Super Mario Land 2 comic.
When
Tatanga
does as he pleases.
Yeah, Tatanga does as he pleases.
So I'm just gonna get the super charge shot and then we'll call it.
Great. Metroid, you guys.
Metroid. Metroid.
Metroid, you guys.
Metroid, you guys. So, yeah, I think that's it. That's what we're gonna do today. That's good. Let us know what you guys think. I think tomorrow we're gonna be playing. Greg's gone until Thursday. So we're gonna do another game after Metroid tomorrow. What that game is, you'll have to come in and check out.
Yeah, see what it is.
But I think we're still gonna do a question of the day. I think the question of the day. By the way, thank you to everyone who sent pictures.
Yeah, we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to you guys about that. That is so funny.
The pictures we got were hilarious.
They all looked hilarious. Like part of the reason they were funny was because of how similar they looked.
Yes.
To each other and like to what was in my own brain. I feel like it was a rousing success.
It was.
But yeah, we'll get back to you guys about that later. In the meantime, what is this week's question?
This week's question is, I think I want to go with atmosphere. How much does atmosphere contribute to you as a gamer and how it pulls you in? Does a game like Super Metroid have a lot more atmosphere than a game like Mario?
Yeah, look at like atmosphere versus mechanics.
Yes.
Mario is almost like it has like a kind of mythology, but it's like pretty random and it's like definitely leaning on its mechanics over its atmosphere, where this leans kind of equally on both.
Yes.
So yeah, talk about that.
So if we decide to, I know exactly what we're going to call it. Give me a moment to, I need to save it because I'm going to die. This is not good. I haven't saved it once since we started playing, which is very bad news bears right now.
You can never save enough.
You can never save enough. And I haven't saved once. What is wrong with me and my mantras? Next time on Beard Brothers, if we do play Super Metroid
I have a feeling
again,
you probably will.
I'm going to climb this wall without the high jump boots to show off my fun skills. Because it's one of the things I love doing as a kid is figuring out how to wall jump and get the power ball early, the power bomb. So that way we can just kind of go back down. See, boom. I'm already making progress. I'm not even next time.
Yeah. Next time on Super Metroid, Beard Super. Okay, it has Super in the name, and so
Super Beardless Deluxe Edition Super Metroid.
yeah.
Bye, guys.